Good morning. Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, you can view it in its entirety, both this morning at Thursday, 7 a.m., Friday, 7 a.m., and Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. And the radio station that we've been on for 30, I'm in my 36th year, KSLO, 1230 a.m. on your dial, and the sister company, 105.3 out of Simpsonport, Louisiana, all part of the Delta Media Company. And of course, this TV station is now part of the Delta Media Company out of Carencro, Louisiana. We thank those people, and they've lived up to our expectations. They've kept all the employees, and that was a concern of J.E. and I, the two partners that ended up being the owners of the local TV station here. And we're very happy with the turnaround, and we expect actually that they're going to make some improvements on our signal. Hopefully we'll be able to send the signal out quite a bit further without going to either cable or direct or dish.
Right, it'll just be broadcast, so it'll be a much bigger pattern.
Yes, and we hope they're working on that project. So, Mr. Eddie, I know you're the man that takes care of those kind of things like that. Sure hope you're working on it. And again, thanks a lot. And we want to thank them especially for keeping our employees. That was J.E. and I's big concern, and thus far everybody seems to be happy. And some of them have actually got bigger roles to play in the bigger company. Is that how you understand it?
You got it.
My sidekick here, Andrew,
well,
welcome aboard.
Good to see you.
And we have a whole lot of things, but one of the first things we have to do is remember our friend, Mr. A.J. Guillot, who this morning, Thursday morning, will be enjoying his happy birthday. And this was a picture that we had taken, I guess about 6 weeks ago over at the Point, Sibamore Point, where he has a camp and we have a camp. I have a camp there. And I had kind of secretly decided to give him a copy of that. He was real happy to have met the real Bobby Dupre. He said he had watched us on television quite often. He lives right there in Lafayette, and so I figured that we'd give him a little gift. Mr. A.J., may you have many, many more healthy ones. He works every day. I think he'll be 83 or 84, and still has a lawn care business, and fishes and hunts, and just has a real full life. Happy birthday to you, and may you have many more. And we need to get together so I can present this to you, Mr. A.J. That's your picture, not mine. I have another one for my wall at the house.
Let me set that down over here if you don't mind. And I'll do that. That way the glare don't show up too bad on the camera.
That's correct. And of course, we yesterday, Tuesday, we sent a email to Rolf and Ida, our friends from Germany. We haven't heard from them in a few days now, several days.
Right.
And
that was the couple that's traveling on the RV to go on basically a whole circumnavigate is the word, I guess, of the whole North American continent.
Yeah, that's right, because they're going into Canada also,
Alaska,
went to Alaska, which is United States, but it's kind of part of...
almost in Russia when you get that far, right? That's what they say. You can see Russia from there.
That's what, what's the lady?
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. She says she can step out of her house and see Russia. Got good eyes, that girl. But she wears glasses, so that's
me too.
Probably, anyhow, Rolf and Ida, we hope that your trip, maybe you watching the program right now, listening to it. We would like to see some of your nice pictures, a couple of your nice pictures to show on our program. And hopefully it's been a safe journey thus far. I have a picture of a quilt that we want to show in a minute. First, I want to talk about what brings the idea of me showing this quilt is the fact that a young lady, local artist Susan Como, she's in her home studio in Lafayette right here, has one of her quilts chosen to be hung in the United Nations headquarters in New York City. So when I saw this, it's about, the local artist calls it the slavery quilt, part of international exhibits that are being shown. And it reminded me of a special quilt that was made for a special person, Santa Claus. And I'm speaking of our little special kids over at the local Opelousas Cerebral Palsy Clinic, the clinic that you and I work so hard for year-round, but particularly for the fundraising. And just in case you missed a recent program, and many of you, can't make them all, we closed our last fundraiser on March 31st, a few weeks ago, almost a month ago, and we had raised $44,003. And we just want to thank you again. But I had a special gift. You show
that photo there.
Show the photo. These children, that's their handprints of the special kids that I work as Santa, and you work as Santa's helper. And it's been a fun run. For the last 26 years, I've been Santa for that Christmas party. And 8 years ago, you and I undertook a job with a lot of volunteers on the day of the event, and a couple of days before, we really call on our friends, and they respond and just want to come back each year. We just have to contact them, make sure we have enough, because we give excellent food service. I mean, when they walk in,
they get their plate.
They get their plate.
And the food is good.
And we served a little over 400 plates of breakfast. So, and again, it all totaled up to $44,003. And without your help, I'm not too sure that this little place would be open. It's been in existence now for 60 plus years, and they have never, and I'll repeat that, never charged anything for any of the therapy services that are rendered here. And we have been able to scratch a few dollars here and there, and they pick up a little money here and there, and we keep it going. It's a wonderful service. It really helps these children to be able to continue their lives, although it's a very limited.
And you can see even from the quilt, you see handprints from some of the kids, but you don't see handprints from all the kids, because some of the kids are literally too disabled to be able to take their hand and open the hand flat to make the imprint. So your donations that you make go a long ways to help these kids have a quality of life.
And if you want to do a little bit of quilting, you can go over to News over on Highway 93 in Orneville, and that's at 1:30 p.m. every Thursday. That's today, every Thursday at News, and they speak French and they do the French quilting.
There you go.
And so we really on to quilting today. But Miss Como, that certainly is a big honor.
Beautiful.
And I don't want to let my little blanket over here, but you know, I used my blanket Monday morning when it was
cold.
It was cold.
When you go around and get that paper, your feet are cold.
And that's kind of what reminded me. I had cut this out, wanted to talk about it, and then when I used the blanket, I said, wait a while. And of course, I have another special blanket that Coach Couvillon gave me in 1955 for boxing. I had already had a leather jacket for football and track, and so he didn't know what to give me, so he gave an 18-year-old, 17-year-old boy a blanket. I didn't think much of it at the time, kind of saved it for a while, and every winter I certainly use it. Miss Rose, good morning to you, Miss Rose Couvillon.
I got to get after a bunch of sponsors. We hadn't got any yet. Piggly Wiggly, go down to your local Piggly Wiggly, where they've got all kind of great specials this weekend. Fresh red ripe tomatoes on the vine, 99 cents a pound. They've got medium pork spare ribs, $1.99 a pound. They got leg quarters for 59 cents a pound, and beef brisket. Man, my wife cooked a good one. $1.99 a pound. The pig knows best, and don't forget they've also got a deal on the Blue Bunny ice cream, $3.88 for a 56-ounce container. So you can follow up with it.
Like
Pig
that
knows
ice cream
best.
at night with a little cookie.
That's right. And now we've also got, let's talk about Dr. Carrie Thibodeau. All your surgery type needs, board certified surgeon, Dr. Carrie Thibodeau can help you with vascular surgery. If you've got problems with healing, he can help you with that. He's a wound care expert. That's maybe you've got some old surgeries that never healed well. Maybe you've got some side effects from diabetes type issues. He can help you with all that. Vascular surgeon can help you with the varicose vein type problems. You go by, he's over in the Opelousas General Health System. You've got got a choice when you see your doctor and he recommends that you have surgery, ask for Dr. Kerry Thibodeau. One more.
Yep.
Torgil, all your seasoning needs. You know, I talked a little bit about Mr. Ted a minute ago.
Yep.
About how you can go over there, you can get seasoning, you can get butcher and supplies, you can get kitchen supplies, your store supplies, cutlery, and your cake baking supplies. Don't forget that as well, because I know a lot of these ladies do that. A lot of them do.
And that's not easy to find.
That's right. A lot of these ladies now are doing these cupcakes. I don't know if you've seen that this is kind of a hot fad right now where they're making these specialty gourmet cupcakes.
Ooh, and they get a good price.
And they get a good price for them. If you need all that type of stuff, they've got it all there at Torgil right here on Wartail Avenue in Opelousas.
And Ted, of course, for you business people, even though you're not in the restaurant per se business, you can do like my partner over in Alexandria, Barry Mitchell. He uses them as a Christmas gift for customers, his agents that they call on. And right here in Opelousas, Imperial, that's one of their gift items that they give to agents all over the state.
I know a lot of family reunions to get together and make cookbooks. You can make seasoning as well to go out with the whole family. So, what else we got?
Well, I met Mike Marks came to my rescue. That must have been Monday. Monday afternoon. And I was having trouble getting a tractor started. We had done some work on it, and we're going to see me on a tractor later on.
Right.
A picture that was sent to you, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why they sent it, but they sent it to you. And Mike, of course, gave us the idea of what the problem was, and sure enough, went straight to it and took care of it. Mike, thanks a lot. And he reminded me that you and I are invited to their annual crawfish boil where he works. Who does he work for? He works for Scott Equipment in Broussard, Louisiana. He and Mr. Richard, Scott Richard's daddy. We can't ever think of his name. Ronnie Richard. There you go. We got you.
All the big equipment and your forklifts and all that.
That's going to be next Thursday, and it's a customer appreciation day is what they call it, and it's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And let me tell you, if you're invited, make sure if you're one of their customers, and of course, we purchased one of their machines, and to my knowledge, we've been in business over there in Abbeville for
KSLOC on the other side of 3.
4.5 years, and I don't think we've ever had to have it serviced. And it was a used piece of equipment that Ronnie sold me, but they really back up, and he told us the history of it, where it had been used, and everything else. So, Mike, Ronnie, all the people over at Scott Equipment, you're going to see us next Thursday for some boiled crawfish.
We got a nice note. I got this from Mr. Herman Fuselier over on Twitter. He tweeted, we're going to start learning how to say all those words. Chef Paul Prudhomme down in Palmetto's got his new smoked meat facility. You had some pictures that we showed here on the show as they were building the facility.
About 6 weeks ago.
And so it's all been done, and I understand they're going to have a ribbon cutting, I think 10 a.m. on May 1st down there in beautiful next Tuesday, beautiful Palmetto, Louisiana.
We need to be there.
Next Tuesday, sure.
We need to have a camera there. We need a camera there. And
you got it. We can handle it.
And Chef Paul, of course, is right here from Opelousas, and we all grew up together. His mom and daddy ran a little grocery store over on Laurent Street, and then his brother built a modern grocery store, and then Gregory Leday purchased the property and the building and started the big church across the street. All started right there where Chef Paul Prudhomme was raised when they moved from Tesh. That's when I talk about where he was raised. That's right. And then there was a little bitty store. I say little bitty, a little bit smaller than the Prudhomme's grocery, and that was the Longclos. And Murphy and Harry and the whole bunch of them were raised right there. And of course, Murphy Longclos graduated with us in 1955. And I have something that you go ahead and I'm going to be
I have
looking.
A correction to make from last week's show. I got stopped by Miss Lucy Sanamon. She said, when you're talking about Miss Fakori working at the bank, I think y'all might have said the wrong bank. It was St. Landry Bank that she worked at. And I don't know